Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Today is Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025. Back with another episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm feeling a whole lot better. My voice is clearing up. It was some type of, I don't know, respiratory infection, I guess. I didn't go to the doctor, so I'm guessing that's what it is, or what it was, but I'm feeling a lot better. Might even go to the gym today. I'm heading out to a doctor's appointment right now, but decided to make this video before I go in. And I feel like this is a good time for a teaching moment. If you've been following me for a while, I'm pretty open about my life and my past and my present and whatever. I don't really care about being judged and people talking about me. People don't like me. People hate me, but I don't care. And if you're new, now you know that. But people that's been following me, they already know, cause I'm open. So what I'm about to tell you, most of the people here already know, but I have a lot of new subscribers that might not have watched every video I've made to know that I was at one time homeless in my life. Back in the 90s, the late 90s. And I learned a lot being homeless. And one of the things I learned, contrary to what a lot of people might believe, there's a lot of homeless people that are not strung out on drugs, that are not alcoholics. But somehow life got the best of them, which is what happened to me. Bad decisions, bad choices, or just life. It happens. Now, my situation was choices that I made that led me out there. But that's neither here nor there. The purpose of this video, and some of y'all ain't gonna believe it, don't want to believe it, or don't want to hear it. We're in some times now where a lot of y'all, a lot of people, gonna find themselves homeless, and you're not strung out on any type of substance. You don't have bad spending habits. You work hard. At least you want to. You try. And still can end up homeless today in America, for sure. So I felt like this would be a good opportunity to tell y'all, just in case you find yourself in this situation. If you find yourself in circumstances beyond your control, like where I live, they raised the rent. Well, my old apartment, rather. They raised the rent just out of nowhere. There were a lot of people having to move just like that. Couldn't afford the rent increase. And I heard they just raised it again. I have friends that tell me their rent just went up. The insurance just went up. All types of things just going up other than the pay. So the pace that we're on, more and more people, hardworking people, non-drug addicted people, non-alcoholics, just everyday citizens gonna find themselves homeless in a position that they never thought they would be in, like me. I never thought I would be like that. I just see homeless folks and I used to be like, damn, I'm out here with them. So this is for you guys on how I survived. I was like 22, 23 years old, being homeless. The first thing you're going to have to do, and I know y'all, first before I go no further, for you haters and whoever and detractors and non-believers, big boy, it ain't going to be that bad. It ain't going to be, it's that bad now. You may be working with somebody right now that's homeless and you don't know it. You may be working with somebody right now that's sleeping in their car. You don't know it. There is a large uptick in the number of people that are, I see them every night. Parked at the truck stop. I told y'all about that. Parked at the truck stop, living in their cars or in their vans. Take showers at the truck stop like I used to do. I'm telling you what I know. I had a gym membership in order to take showers, not to work out, which I worked out too, but for the shower. You learn the tricks on how to survive. And I'm going to pass it on to y'all. A lot of y'all going to need it. Some of y'all are already doing it now, already homeless, but there's going to be plenty more of y'all upcoming, the newly homeless, that have no idea how to survive in a world where nobody cares, where there's no help for you, where you're going to have to shit it or get it. There's thousands of people, close to millions, homeless in America right now that are not drug addicts. I ain't talking about the typical homeless, dirty, scruffy, long beard, wine bar. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about you just had a place 3 months ago. You had a job, a normal life, and now you homeless, sleeping in your car. I'm talking about you. A lot of those people have already kind of like figured it out and got their little routine together. I see them on a regular basis. You have a certain time to be at the truck stop to get you a parking spot, where you're going to sleep for the night somewhere safe, well lit, with people coming in and out, so you kind of safe sleeping there. See, you got to remember now that you're sleeping outside. It ain't the same as sleeping in your home where you can lock the doors. You're outside now. You're vulnerable to attacks and predators and whoever. You're more vulnerable when you don't have a door to lock. Or you just in the car where they can see you sleep. They can look in your car and see that you sleep. And they can do something to you. So you got to keep that in mind as you look for a place to sleep for the night. You want a well-lit area. Hopefully a business area. If they don't allow you to park in the parking lot, park in the surrounding outskirts of it, where you're still seeing your car. I learned how to eat on the street. But the first thing, if you want to, some people ain't gonna want to survive that. Some people might check out, don't care, lose their minds, what have you. It's enough to drive you crazy, especially if you ain't never experienced nothing like this before. I don't wish it on nobody. But the first thing you're going to have to do is detach from the rest of the world, because you're not a part of the rest of the world no more. Once you become homeless and you living on the street, nowhere to live, or in your car, abandoned houses, homeless shelters, you're going to have to detach from the rest of the world. You're not going to be able to care about what everybody else doing. You're going to see other people living their lives, still living the life you used to live. And if you don't detach from that, it would drive you insane. That you can't live. You're going to see other people going to their homes, taking their kids to school, what have you. The life you used to live. You got to detach from that. You got to realize you have a whole nother world now. But keep in mind, you're not alone. And the time we're living in right now, it's going to be plenty more coming to join you. They're forcing us into this position. Here I am off the whole entire week. What am I supposed to do? Go find another job, they boy, they hired my man. That's why I say detach from the rest of the world. Because you're going to have goofy ass folks telling you all you got to do is this. All you got to do is that. And them same folks in a couple of more months going to have their ass out there right with you. Because they didn't want to listen. They thought they knew everything. What I'm telling y'all is coming. And just in case you find yourself homeless, listen up. Detach from the rest of the world. Right now, your main objective is to survive today. Homeless people live, that's when you really know to live one day at a time. You only gonna survive one day in the homeless field. And that's what you focus on. Don't worry about what the rest of the world doing. What people gonna think about you. What they gonna say about you. They gonna judge you, talk about you. You can't focus on none of that. Pride out the door. Because you might find yourself in the back of Popeyes, Church's Chicken, or a restaurant. And you've learned the times that they dump good food. It's just in a dumpster. They have to throw it away. They could only we learned that they could only leave the food in there for so long that they got to discard it. But it's still good food. If you don't mind knocking a maggot or two off of it, I just have to throw it in there. A lot of times they just throw it in there. It might not be no maggots in there unless it was maggots already in the garbage can. But anyway, when you starving, hungry, no help, pride is out the window. So you're going to learn how to find, and you're going to learn the schedule of when the food dump is. And you're going to do what we call dumpster diving. Can't have no pride when you're trying to live. Now, if you don't care about living, you worry about what people think about you, go ahead and die. When what people think about you become more important than you surviving, you already dead. So that's rule number one. What people think about you, you should already be that way, but even more then. And detach from the rest of the world. You're no longer a part of that world until you get back over there, if you ever want to get back over there. There are some people that got there and got a taste of the homeless living, and they like it better. No bills, none of that shit. You're going to have to learn the homeless shelter schedule from when it's cold, on them cold nights. You got to learn when they allow it, what time you got to be there so you won't be outnumbered and you won't be able to get a bed to get out the cold. You got to learn that. I know this sounds, nah, big boy, you just exaggerate, man. It ain't gonna be that bad. It's that bad now, brother, sister. Where you been? It's that bad now. What I'm telling y'all, there's people right now probably there are people that are working homeless. Yeah. They got jobs and homeless. They got a job, but the rent, $1,700 a month. They bring home $1,700 a month. And they don't have no help, no mama to go live with, no old lady. Like me, I didn't have nobody. When Gwen put me out, I didn't have nobody. There are people out here that don't have nobody. Are you that person? Then this could be you. And you need to listen. You will have to learn the homeless shelter schedule. Somewhere you probably done passed by 1,000 times, never paid no attention, didn't know what it was. That's where the homeless go. I learned all types of churches Catholic churches in different places that would feed us. By the time I wasn't homeless no more, I was like Rambo. I could survive anywhere. I eventually came up off the street. But by the time I did, I had learned so much, so many survival skills. I was Rambo. Not in a crazy way, but I could survive anywhere, any condition, any circumstance. And that's why I am like I am today. The way I don't really care about much. I don't really care about what people say and think because I was detached. I done been to the lowest of the lows. And I know when you reach a point like that, you ain't got nobody. But what I found out when I was out there, I found out who the best people are and who the worst. Some of the best people in the world are other homeless people. People strung out on drugs. Broke, ain't got nothing. I found out them some of the best people in the world. The people that we look down on and toot our nose up at. And I also found out some of the worst people in the world, and y'all hate when I do it, it's the church folk, the religious folk. The people that preach doing right. I found out from being at the lowest of the low that they're the worst. And the so-called heathen, I had crackheads helping me. People that didn't have nothing themselves helping me. And I would see pastors and people riding by, big Cadillacs and what have you, look over at you like you stink, because you do, and keep going. So you're going to have to learn who's for you and who's against you. Because there ain't going to be many people for you. But you're going to need to know who they are and where they are at all times if you want to survive and what's coming for a lot of y'all that are listening to me right now. You may not find yourself in this situation right now. Prepare yourself mentally just in case. That's all I'm saying. And you live one day at a time. Eat and somewhere to lay your head. You can't worry about all the other stuff if you find yourself in that situation. Eat, somewhere to live, to lay your head for the night. Just for that night. If you live to see the next day, wake up and do it again. It ain't easy. But life ain't either. And I know y'all don't want to accept it again. And you might think it's just for content. But a lot of us are headed for homelessness, or worse. A lot of us ain't gonna be able to even cope with that. And they're gonna just say, I'm out of here. And they're gonna just check on out. A lot of people in the upcoming days, weeks, months, years, gonna be faced with two options. Being homeless or dead. Some folk gonna choose dead over homeless. My suggestion to you, choose homeless. Because if you're homeless, you're still alive. You're still alive, you still stand a chance. So if you find yourself homeless, or if you're homeless right now, stay alive. Look at me. I was there too. And if things don't get better, shit, I might be back there again. But stay alive, no matter what. And things can change for you again. If you're still alive, no matter what your circumstance, you still got a chance. Get it, got it good. Bye.